Angle's head.
And the balloons coming in means that we're starting the recording right now, everybody, because we could do that forever.
Just
Yeah.
I can't believe I finally figured it out. There were other ones,
congratulations.
though.
I'm glad we figured that out.
No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
that's terrifying. That was so still. I thought you froze.
All
That guy's an
righty.
actor. Are we?
Restore window,
Did
dummy.
No. Trying to see if I can find
Ah, that's the Edmonton stuff. I just freak everybody out. Let's pop up. Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome, one and all, to the Novice DMing Curse of Strahd campaign. I'm Liam, your dungeon master. Liam McKinnon, your dungeon master. He has a last name. With us, as always, David Wilson, Noah McKinnon, Kylah, who has the last name.
Like Madonna.
Yeah, like Madonna. As I move the Zoom thing, literally the title's there and I'm just not reading it. Welcome everybody to our session. Unfortunately, Padon is not with us due to an illness. So we hope Padon is okay. And we are excited though to be back. We've been away for a month ourselves. And I'm excited because we got all of the videos uploaded, guys, for the Curse of Strahd campaign officially. So you guys can watch everything that we've been up to now for the last year. Yo, that's right. Share that love. Smash that like button. Don't forget to... I'm sorry. I was...
Oh,
you got it. You got
great.
it. That's great. So I'm really excited because actually now I get to share. I'm going to be sharing this probably tomorrow, which is great because we film on like Monday nights. And I'm excited because I get to talk about stuff that people can actually get to see. Yay! So, everyone, it is. Oh God.
That's just.
Kylah fully endorses the camera angle that David just took us down.
Oh.
Just...
Sorry, you keep talking, Liam. I'll stop.
What happens if you do 2 thumbs down, Kylah? Keep going. Come on.
It's nuclear explosion or something.
There you go.
Confetti.
What about 2 thumbs down? I want to see what that does.
Yeah, do 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, let's see. Oh,
Wow.
that's perfect. That's perfect.
Outstanding. Throwing
That's
shade
thematically
confetti.
That works perfectly in the game.
David, did you just call a rainstorm shade confetti?
Shade confetti. Yeah, it was a band I was in the 80s.
Kylah, what expression, Squally, what Zoom expression would Squally be at this moment? Like in this instant, what would they be?
Pooping.
We would do colors of feathers. Yeah, what's pooping?
I mean, he got Irina, celebrate.
Yeah, woot woot.
Okay, this one says, what is a horned finger?
That's the rock and roll sign.
Yo!
Do just one of those.
It doesn't do anything.
Just one doesn't do anything?
I tried.
Ah.
Yeah.
These are the kinds of special effects that you can expect to see with the fantastic budgeting that we have put together.
Our budget has gone up. We're just like Critical Role 4 years ago. We're doing great.
We're doing great. They have a theme park set, and I have a subscription to a Zoom meeting call, which is perfect. Anyway, back to the thing I was sharing before David completely threw me off with his camera angle adjustment. Guys, I'm going to be at the Edmonton Fringe Festival. Yeah, I'm there with Sorry Not Sorry Improv. Sorry Not Sorry Improv. Yeah, thanks, guys. Happy birthday to us. Sorry Not Sorry Improv is an improvised theater company in Edmonton, Alberta. We perform many nerdy formats. such as the Prairie Improv Federation, our wrestling theme. We have the Malarkey Murders, which is kind of a little bit of a murder mystery show. We also are featuring Monster of the Week, a new format we've developed. We also have for the Fringe Festival, though, we got, what is it called? It's called the Drag Kings. The Drag Kings, which is like a mansplaining show where our fantastic female or non-binary identifying cast members go and dress up as men and splain away life goals and life lessons and everything like that. It's a great format, I've been told. And I've I've witnessed firsthand the work of the drag kings, as one of them took my chicken away from me. And
hate it when it happens.
Right? You don't you hate it when a man comes up to you and takes your chicken away from you and
happened
makes
just
you,
last week.
And you have to like give a Cliff Bar to like trade, and just like if you give them the Cliff Bar, they'll give the chicken back.
Ugh.
You love me.
I think we've all had to relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go out and see the Drag Kings at the Fringe Festival. We also have our flagship show, YEG D&D, a show that I have been a part of a couple times. I was an NPC for one of our shows that we did at the Grindstone Theater, as well as with GameCon Canada. And I was the Dungeon Master for our final season that we had this last year. And now I'm going to be an NPC again for a few shows for the Fringe. And I'm going to read the dates off to all of you right now. We are performing at the Fringe Festival on Friday, August 16th, on Saturday, August 17th, August 18th, August 19th. We also have August 20th, August 23rd, August 24th, and August 25th. We have 8 shows going. They have varying different dates across the board, or different times across the board. All of them kind of range in there, so you can like check us out with the Edmonton Fringe on their website. And look us up to see the specific times. If you are too lazy to do that, let me know in the comments down below of the video, because then next time I will read the times for it for our next session before the Fringe kind of picks up, because I will do that for you because I care about this and I'm excited. Yeah, that's the big thing. Fringe is coming up. But yeah, it's just a good time. Good times all around, and I'm very excited for that big production. I don't have anything else going on myself. I don't know if anybody else here has anything happening. Oh, actually, that's a lie. I did lie. Nobody else talked but me. Right now, I have moved. Anybody who follows me on Facebook or on Instagram, I have moved the Dungeon Master Workshop course that I do from the summertime to going basically to August 29th. And then going into September. The reason for this was because of Fringe, and we want to make sure that, or I want to make sure that I'm able to be present for a bunch of people who are taking interest, and there are quite a few people that are interested this year. So I'm very excited to be bringing that to people, because it's my favorite thing to do with my company. So yeah, if anybody is interested in learning how to DM, please feel free to check it out there for early registration. We got it set up there. Information, it's an 8-day course now. And I'm really excited to be bringing it to people. So yeah, let me know and I will be able to help out there and get you saddled up. So I'm really excited. Now I'll pass it off to anybody if anybody else wants to share anything whatsoever. Cool. Fantastic. So with all that being said, I gotta pose it out to everybody now. Before we begin our session for Curse of Strahd, does anybody have any questions regarding gaming stuff? Kylah, yes.
Okay. I have a couple questions. I want to purchase a feat.
Yes.
Just one. And I have 2 in mind, but it depends on how one works. So I was thinking about taking Elemental Adept because I thought that would be cool for Squally, because he's kind of like an elementalist, you know. Now it explains that when I gain this feat, I choose one of the following damage types, and I could pick any one of those. My confusion is that when I roll damage for a spell that I cast that deals the damage of that type, do I get to pick when I get to use that damage versus what I already
That
what
is a
the spell
good.
does, or do I need to pick spells that use that damage?
That is a good question.
I
Good
don't
question.
quite understand. It's on page 166 if you need.
Yes, on 166 of the Dungeon Masters of the Player's Handbook.
If it's a player's handbook,
Yes,
not the dungeon.
spells you cast ignore resistance to damage of the chosen type. In addition, when you roll damage for a spell you cast that deals damage of that type, you can treat any one as a 2. And you can select this thing feat multiple times to be able to pick a different damage type. So yeah, it's whatever damage you choose. You choose one damage type, and that one is that damage is ignored for resistances, and then any one you deal with it is a 2 instead.
So say if I cast one of my spells that already does radiant damage, right?
Radiant is not one that is listed here.
I know, but that's why I'm confused. I need a spell that uses one of those types of damage in order to have this feat.
Exactly, because it's an element focused thing. It's one of the elements of the earth, not radiance, not divine magic. Yes.
Does that come hand in hand with my me feats?
With your me feats, you know what? I was thinking that you were going to ask this question. I would say for the me feats that would come in tow with your summoning of them. I would allow it for them. Yeah,
But, like,
I would say
currently all of my spells are radiant damage, so it really doesn't really make sense for me to take this because all I have is water as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of one of those ones where it's like the feat itself, I'll be completely honest with you. It's like, yeah, you could apply for the me feats for their damage type. So for example, their cold burst, their claw attacks, like the cold damage they do. But essentially that's getting a second. So for those of you who are watching this and wondering, what are we talking about? The way that we have this structured here is that the players are able to purchase feats for themselves when they reach certain XP thresholds. So it's like using experience points as a currency to be able to get the customizable feats that are prominent within like Dungeons and Dragons 5e. As opposed to like when you get to like level 4 and level 8, you can to get different feats. It's like you can purchase these instead when you reach 5,000 for the first threshold, and then you spend it, and then you get to 20,000, which Kylah's done. So Elemental would work for the me feats, but it's basically Elemental would work for the me feats, but it's basically a very high feat to get for one of your abilities as opposed to something that can diversify across the board.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so I think I just wanted to make sure that that's how it worked. Like I didn't get to choose which damage type my spell used, which is what I was confused about.
Yeah,
So
I think there may be like one that can alter, but that's a different thing. Yeah.
I think I'm going to then take spell sniper instead.
Ooh.
Pew pew pew.
Pew pew.
Ooh.
Mm.
Good Scooby-Doo there, David.
Oh, sniper you are.
Oh, stop. That's Yoda again. You go too far. And then it's Yoda. Your threshold from Scooby-Doo to Yoda is
Even when I said good Scooby-Doo, it was not Scooby-Doo at all. It was still Yoda.
that was
It's
better than
Yoda.
what he did in person though. Much
I was
better. And we
I was
have
expecting
that
him to do
on recording.
I was expecting a little reverse psychology on it.
Thanks, honey. I appreciate it.
Okay, so yeah, spell sniper. Okay, and you get to choose a cantrip. That's fantastic.
I hate this. I need to be stopped. Someone needs to turn.
Yeah, now it's like every
I'm
5 seconds.
not
We're not
going
stopping
to.
you. You've opened this can of worms. This is on you now.
So fun. I hate it. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I yeah. Yeah. Essentially it seems a lot better. And I have spells that deal attack, make attack rolls. So I feel like it would be good.
Yeah, nice.
Do you like it, DM? Is it
I'm not
okay?
going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you not to take it. That's a good spell. That's a good feat
The
to
one thing I
have.
get to do, just to clarify, is that I get to pick one new cantrip.
Cantrip.
One new cantrip, and then you have your spell ranges doubled, and you also have can ignore cover, which is pretty great.
I'm gonna take it.
Hell yeah.
I have to pick a cantrip quick, but then I am ready.
Fantastic.
It won't take me long, I promise.
Does anybody else have a question while Kylah finds that cantrip?
Now I'll come up with my question when I forget how to play D&D in about half an hour.
Oh, super. So happy for that one. Lovely. All right. Well, with that then, I think we can then have everybody gear up and get ready as we begin to dive into the Mists of Barovia for our session of Curse of Strahd.
Should have balloons when he comes up.
Should have done that. Should have done that. It's not going to read for me, though. When last we left off with our adventurers in Barovia, you were all spending the day, the last day of the dinner reception, the last day before the wedding. That's the day that it is. And all of you were going off, completing a set plan you had set for yourselves. Yes, you were all, Jesus, you were all, you'd gone back to the tower that you guys had set up, and kept the children, the young were-raven children that had been separated from their family, to go check on them, but they had flown out immediately as you had all come through there. You'd left Irina there to keep her safe. You'd noticed there was a glyph that was outside, and you were like, who was that? You didn't know. And you were thinking maybe it was the person who wrote you a note, but you didn't know. Then you guys went to Valaki to get the dress. You got the dress, and you got out of there, but not before you killed the Vistani captain. You killed them, and then you got out of there. And then you went to get a blood spear. You did that. Then you went to the abbot to go kill him, and you killed him with the dress that you tore up. And then you guys all said, hey, let's get some riches from the abbey and some wine too. And you did that. And then you got a scroll that's got like a hero's feast on it. And that feels good. Yum, yum. And then you had Squally be like, I don't want to go out to Strahd, so I'll go by myself. And you're like, good job. And then you got a pony. And that pony was named
Bill, wasn't it?
Bill.
Bill.
That pony is named Bill.
Bildrath. Not just
Bildrath. There we
Bill.
go.
We're not gonna nickname him. That's a dope ass name.
Yeah, Bildrath. It's been a month. And so you had Bildrath, and then you went away. And then the rest of you were like, we're gonna let him go, and then we'll figure out how to do this like Heroes Feast. You talk to Tristan, and Tristan's gonna kind of help get people with their faith and their spiritualism and shit. And then there was this like Vistani that was covered in a cloak and covered in blood. And it was Ratka who was coming to warn you guys that there were some things getting set up along the road. And you found out Squally was going to go on the road by himself. And you're like, we got to go get Squally. So you went to go get Squally. But then Squally was going a bunch of different directions. And then got to one direction, not like the band, but the one that went down the road.
Oh.
Yeah. And then all of you were in Esmeralda's wagon. And things were good. Until a druid and some twig people like attacked the wagon. And then they shattered wine bottles at all of you, and you got cut by glass, and then the wheels were like torn off, and you had to leave Esmeralda's wagon behind. And you just took a couple bottles of wine, and then you started leaving to find Squally, and then you guys snuck into the forest. You guys had seen Fiona Vochter. You guys had fought some more wolves. It was a lot. And you guys are all okay right now. And we come out of the combat for yourselves. Squally, you had disguised yourself, and Stanimir had basically come out of the woods again. He kind of secluded himself, and you noticed Stanimir was what was it called? Able to see through your disguise and addressed you. And then you were able to go on your way with Irina. And that's kind of where we're at. So, Squally, if you've picked your cantrip,
I thought it would be quicker, but I haven't quite yet. But I can I need a few more minutes. Do you want to start with the other team?
I can start with the other team for sure. Yeah, we'll start with the other team then, as you all
Apologize.
come collecting yourselves. Sly, did you drop down from the tree onto the wolves at this point to join with everybody here?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd come up behind them.
Yeah, you dropped down. I was trying to clock that in my brain. You all collect yourselves, scattering of wolves, and Ratka just kind of says, I must say that is quite a bit of wolves to have killed. My goodness. So is everyone okay?
Yes.
All right. Well, there's pretty sure they're going to be able to notice that there's some commotion in the woods, so we might better get going, stay low, stay quiet. Right. I need everybody in the woods to make a stealth check. If anybody wants to roll for Eren, they can.
I'm happy to do that if it helps.
Got it. Kari rolled a 10. Ratko rolled a 16.
Although, no, I can't roll for Aaron. I don't have.
I have his stats. Sly rolled a 6.
Okay.
Do you still have? Who has?
I don't have an updated one.
I think mine's older than yours.
Yeah, what level do you have of him, Noah?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh. Do I have them?
I thought you did.
I thought so too.
Kari sheet.
The only one we have is the level 7. It's just in the group chat. So is that recent?
Level 7, yeah, just do that one. Then yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you
It's a
got that.
13. Sure, I can do that. It's a 13.
Okay, and Wystera?
12.
12. All right. So, skulking through the dense forest, but keeping yourselves a little close to the road, making sure you're aware of anything that can catch your presence. Make a little roll. Okay. So, all of you begin to move over the knotted roots through the tight trunks of the trees. Every single one of them shaped the leaves in this, like, it's not like complete dark. You are in rather, heavy darkness right now, which I was going to try to remind myself is that you guys have some minimal light sources, I believe. Correct. There's what is it? Kari has no, man, I'm trying to remember. I think Kari has a torch. But I think you guys are going right now, no light though. Like,
Yeah,
because yeah, but that Wystera and Sly, you guys are leading the way right now for everybody. Because you're the only two that can see in the dark.
Yep.
Okay. So as you are moving through the forest, There is a moment where you hear a voice cut through subtly. It's like a whisper, but loud enough for all of you to hear. Why is it that you're always causing trouble? Each and every single one of you.
Wystera really quietly under her breath. Just lucky, I guess.
I wonder how much that time that luck is going to be able to stick with you.
Good question.
And I can see you brought one of them here with you too. Pleasure to see you here, Ratka, as well. Oh, don't worry. Ratka, like, for those of you who can see, Ratka looks a little bit nervous, kind of pulls out his swords, says, don't worry, I'm not going to tell anybody. That's not going to make it as fun. In fact, I think that you're all making true on your promises right now. Or at least, giving everybody else a reason to have some little semblance of hope, right?
Wystera just smiles.
Well, you got a hunkin' big stick.
Sorry, was that to Wystera?
No, that
Didn't
was yeah, you giant, open seeping wound. Yeah, you.
Uh, thank you. So that's kind of do, are, do you, are you jealous? I don't like. Do you have stick envy? Is that what?
You see coming up from behind the trunk of a tree, like right behind you there, Esker revealing himself. It's like, no, I'm not. In fact, you can keep that as far away from me as you can. Listen.
The maid? Eren trips up and goes, "Hey, it's the maid."
Yeah, it's me. Don't get any ideas. I'm not cleaning up after your mess you just made here. Listen. I don't know if you have any idea about how much shit you have all just stirred up. But once I kind of heard what was the commotion that was going on with all the Vistani, I got an idea about exactly who was making, the rounds. And I just gotta say, you're all really impressing me about this, about how many people you're just taking down here. How many like prominent folks you guys are just like taken out without any issue whatsoever. And I just hope you're all ready for exactly what that's going to be bringing to you. But, you know. All right.
Did you want to
Did you?
join our merry band of taker-downers?
Oh no, I gotta get ready for the wedding. I gotta make sure I'm bringing myself and any other, of the chosen folks to be able to come out. But I just wanted to make sure that my suspicions were correct. Very glad that they are. So,
Well, thanks for stopping by.
You better get a hustle on. They're gonna probably be bringing some patrols in on the forest right away, and well, I don't think you're gonna be wanting to catch Aragol in the state that he's in right now. He's not very happy.
Thank you.
Esker kind of begins to walk away, covering up his head with a cloak. Looks past Kari, looks past Eren. Really am impressed. Don't be a disappointment now. And just keeps walking.
Well, that was lovely. Should we move a little faster?
I would think that would be wise, yes. All right. You all begin to move a little faster. Squally. You.
I'm ready.
Great. Yay. You walk with Irina. Open to the cold wind. You pass by where the old bone grinder was before. It's that old heap of charred wood. Wandering past that. You go past the open gates through Barovia. You can see far off, far in the distance, Castle Ravenloft ahead of you. You take a right turn along the road, begin to make your way across the bridge, and you are descending past the mountains, go all the way back to the village of Barovia. I need you to make one simple check for me, please. Make a perception check.
Ooh. Woohoo. 24. Nat 20.
Wow.
22.
24.
Well, perceptive.
Squally, you begin to walk past the old hangman's by the old gallows set that you guys have passed by many times before. You do not see any figure hanging in the rope this time. What you see instead is a grave. It's dug open. You see that there is one grave, two graves, three graves, and four graves. On each one of the graves, there is a name etched in on like a kind of a wooden, just like a board, like etched, what is it called? Just a tombstone, but not like made of stone, just a little marker. You see the name of Eren. You see Sly. You see Kari. And the fourth grave has no name. And as you begin to walk past, you slowly see these graves fade as a little bit of fog begins to come up. Audibly, you can also hear a little bit of light, jaunting music coming from a small path down into the woods. This is not following the main path and the main road that leads to Barovia. You can just hear the music off on the side path.
Okay. I'm on a mission to take Irina to her brother, so I'm not gonna be distracted by anything. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Not gonna be distracted by no music. Bill Draft, you got a mission. Okay. You travel with Irina. All she says is, Squally, did you just see what I saw?
Did you see graves?
No, not exactly. I saw a bridal gown myself.
Oh, I saw graves.
Ah,
There is maybe, okay, do I have a, sorry, I'll make a check. I won't just guess. Can I want to see if, am I feeling anything magical? Like someone's there, or is it like someone's doing this?
Yeah, make make an Arcana check.
Illusion check.
Make an illusion check.
Oh my gosh. I swear, I'm not lying. I just got another nat 20.
Two nat 20s in a row. Okay. We're getting this. I'm very
Wow.
glad I ruined the surprise of what the magic school was by just straight up saying make an illusion check, because that's what you discern it is. It's an illusion. It is someone playing with your mind. You've passed by the gallows now many times, and you saw a tiefling in the gallows before. You saw many people in the gallows before. But there's a part of you walking down the road confident with Irina after passing by this. Like, you're becoming a master of illusion. You're becoming a tricksy expansionist cleric.
My domain
Yeah.
master. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, you're starting to see through this. You know what? There's a moment when you see those graves and you're like, "Psst." Like, there's just kind of this moment of like, you know what that is. Like, it's like, don't get me wrong. It's a little freaky that these illusions are so hyper specific per person that two people could see multiple ones. That means there is a highly intrusive force working in onto what they believe is like your internal being and nature about what you would be probably most afraid of. But also it's like, you're able to see past that. You're seeing through it and you're like, okay.
Somebody's messing with me.
Irina says, really? Someone's messing with you?
Well, I think someone's putting an illusion on that spot. For you, it was a wedding dress. For me, it was the graves of my friends. I think someone's trying to lure us over there or something.
Well, let me ask you, good Sir Squally, are you going to let that person mess with you?
Well, he looks a little purple. He's a little proud about that. He's like, wow, this is kind of nice. He says, no, we're gonna keep going and get you to your brother.
Well, good Sir Squally, I'm very happy and proud of the company that I am keeping right now.
He's bright purple. So purple.
Fantastic. The most purple. I'll let you know too, the music is not an illusion. That is coming from actual instruments. You can hear that and discern that.
Sorry, is it going towards the castle?
No, it's going down the side road. And I'll let you know that side road, is where you had gone before to the Vistani village before, when you had met with Madame Ava, and when you had like that little pool that was down there with the Vistani encampment.
But the reception is in Castle Ravenloft.
Yes, it's in Castle Ravenloft.
I don't know. Maybe Swally's gonna pass that off as maybe the band is practicing for the reception and just keep going.
Okay, sounds good. You purple people eater begins to go to the village of Barovia. You begin to come towards it with no issues whatsoever. As you make your way into the village, you can see there's a lot of kind of like groupings of people getting together, working through, and they are kind of like hauling out what is it? They're hauling out a lot of like kind of furniture sets and getting them in front of their homes and their windows. A lot of people are moving like things and features and creating these pretty gnarly looking devices and kind of like horrifying kind of like contraptions that are just like in front of their homes. One of the things that you can see, I'm sorry, I'm just going to find the specific information here. Let me just find it. Okay. Oh my God. I was wondering why Bildrath sounded so familiar to me. I was wondering. So
Character.
Bildrath, the shop owner,
I wondered too.
is he's looking old as the day, old as time itself, like just looking old, disheveled, like got a sales sign going up right now on
It-
home reinforcement gear. People are
Squally has
buying nails.
one of
Hmm?
these where he like walks by but like pulls Bildreth a little bit in front.
You got it. He's old. His peripheral vision is terrible. He cannot see you. So yeah,
Okay.
you're able to just slip on by, going past towards Ismark's estate. Um, you get up to the estate and you can see Ismark is talking to Barovians, and these Barovians are kind of outfitted with like worn crossbows, but they seem like they have like kind of like set bandoliers, like it's like makeshift things. And Ismark is just kind of like talking to them like, make sure that we can set up watches like near the inn, make sure we can get something stationed. We need to make sure that there's no side. And he looks at you and stops. And Irina jumps off of Bildrath the horse and rushes over to Ismark and gives him a huge hug. And he just kind of stops and ceases and is just like, we'll talk in a moment, please. And he just kind of like immediately goes to hug Irina. She just says, I'm so, I was hoping that you were still okay. Are you okay? And she looks at him and he's like kind of at like scrapes upon his arm. I'm fine. What are you doing here? He looks at you and says, what is she doing here? And Irina just says, Squally's brought me here to keep me safe.
I don't believe her position was safe where she was, and we tried to keep her somewhere that was somewhat safe, but she felt it's safest with you, and we agreed.
Well, I must say you picked a pretty terrible time to be able to actually think that this was going to be safe here. We've been having, oh, wolves have been coming at us through the woods. We've been having shambling corpses being able to make their approach as well. But we've been hearing some howls coming up far from the, well, near the castle, it seems.
Were you invited tonight?
We were invited to the wedding, yes. Well, it was a rather interesting invitation. We'd received one where it was a carriage. As I opened it, out tumbled body parts, all of them marked up with different invites, and I was certainly aware of the situation. That as those body parts reassembled to attack me, I thought I think it might be best if I should stay here in case something was to happen. So,
Understandable. Goodness. Well, I am here to do anything you need if you'd like. But I'm not going personally. The rest
oh,
of the crew is sorry. Keep going. The rest of us are, but the rest are going to the reception and I believe to the wedding. I'm just here to help Irina.
well, that's wonderful.
Hard hard to
I must
follow.
say, it's sorry, cat has my tongue.
Yeah.
But, well, if that is the case, then thank you. Right now we are currently just trying to prepare ourselves for a potential onslaught. The wolves that have been coming through here are much larger than the ones before. And I have to say, a few of them were able to grab some of our villagers and take them off into the woods. We've sent off a couple of hunting parties, but we need to make sure that we are prepared for any other situations, especially if it's something to try to lure us out of the village itself.
I have heard of other attacks. There's druids taking over different towns. It's not good out there right now.
Okay. Well, here, how about this? We will let's get inside. We can discuss and talk about maybe come up with some sort of plan for ourselves, and we can get ourselves set. Please. And he opens up the door. And you are welcomed into Ismark's home to discuss how you can potentially help them. Alrighty. So, the rest of you begin to go on the long, long road, making your way across. Sly, you yourself are very wise to the ways of footprints here. If you want to go ahead and make a survival check to track Squally, you are welcome to.
Sure. Oh, it's a nat 20.
Wait, three? Is it 3 nat 20s in a row with all, like, you gotta stop doing this, man. You gotta stop being
So
part
that
of
would
the 3
be,
nat 20 rule.
with my survival, that would be a 25.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, fine.
Do
So
I find Squally? Did I do it? Did I just win D&D?
God damn it. What is it? The fucking third time? I mean, I know you didn't roll it, but fuck off. Okay, so
What is this, like, a good dice roll day? Nailed it.
yeah. Okay,
Take that.
so you begin to walk for full focus on, like, there's Bildrath's hooves. Not Bildrath the person, but Bildrath
Oh, but
the
I can
pony.
see both of their footprints. I
Yeah.
know where Bildrath is right now. The
Yeah,
guy, not the horse.
you smell him across the wind. You're like detecting, like, Squally's sweat glands of, like, his mood and attitude when it, like, was coming through. Like, you're aware of the coloration, the pigment of his feathers, like, that he was, like, he's got a higher skip in his step. That was, like, probably like a nice little yellow at a point. Oh, it looks like he was a little bit chilly at this point. So you had some of that flavor in there. You're getting the full 3-dimensional footprint here of Squally. There is a moment when you're walking that you notice that Squally's prints stop for a second and kind of turn around, and they stop at a tree line. As you are noticing this, Ratka is kind of like, well, I'm glad we were able to get out of that. I must say, my friends, my people are going to be very, grateful to be able to see you. We are hoping to reconnect. We are not too far from this, like, charred remains of this old windmill. We're just hiding out there, but we will be able to, like, reconnect there, and then we will be able to take you to our encampment, and we will be able to figure out exactly what we can do about just having a nice meal, as you had said, some kind of meal. Squally, or Sly, as you're looking at this, you can see that there is another set of footprints at the edge of the tree line. I want you just to simply make an intelligence check for me, like a history check.
Row. It's a history 12.
12. You recognize the footprints. These prints themselves are of a fine boot. They're smaller, but, well crafted. It appears that they would belong to a Vistani. You recognize it, and it's like pretty sure that like an individual like was down here, and you start to kind of slowly by yourself piece together that you're like recognize these prints. And then you notice another set of prints, and they are dog footprints. And those you definitely recognize. You recognize Rufus's footprints.
Who's Rufus with again? Sorry, did you just say his name?
Yeah, Rufus.
No, but who did we leave him with?
You guys had left him with Stanimir.
There wouldn't be a way for me to know if these are Stanimir's footprints. I just quickly call over the group, and I'm like, guys, Rufus was here.
Eren's like, Rufus? What is he doing out here?
I don't know. I can't find him. I just know he was here. These are his paw prints. Do I still have a gauge of where Squally and Bildrath's tracks
Yeah,
went?
they go back down the main road. So they're away from the actual tree line themselves. Looks like Squally continued onwards.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um. Yeah,
Eren's
I'll
like,
point that.
Squally just like wandering alone right now? Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't see Irina's footprints, would I? She was sitting on
no.
Bildrath.
Well, yeah, you didn't see Irena's footprints at
So I
all,
don't
Jeremy.
see it. Okay. Um. Yeah, I just point that out. I'm like, well, it's like their footprints went here. Here, there's two sets here with Squally and Bildrath, so Irina might be riding. Wait, do we know Squally's? Yeah, we know about Bill, the pony.
Mhm.
So Irina might be riding and getting a rest, but they go that way after they like double back here. But Rufus are leading this way, so I don't know what we wanna do. If we want to stop over and check that, or what do we think in here?
Eren's like, I do want to know what happened to Rufus. But
Mistress
like,
shaking her head.
but I think, yeah, I mean, do you know if, yeah, we should go to find Squally. Like that, we should do that. Yeah,
Okay, yep.
yeah, we should do that. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
As you
Okay,
guys
we go
begin to
this way.
turn, yeah, as you guys begin to turn, Eren goes up to you, Squally, or Sly very quietly, and just like, hey, did you notice if Rufus is or his like footprints like with anybody, or is he like going by himself? Because like, you just tell me like, what's
Didn't notice that.
well, you notice that Rufus's footprints were like kind of like walking. They were walking in tandem with another set of footprints, not in the same day. Like this looks like some older prints that have been kind of moving through here, but yeah, you notice that they were walking next to like in like the formation of like an animal walking next to a trainer or a master of some kind.
Okay. Like, yeah, it looks like he had someone going around with him.
Okay, that's good to know. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay, great. And for that, you guys continue following the tracks. At a certain moment, you all stop, and Raka says, "Hold here. I will make sure I get everyone," and goes off into the forest for a few minutes. You all kind of stand here waiting for a bit. Kari just says, "So we don't have that dish or whatever, so I guess he's gonna take us to get one. Do we have any idea about what we're gonna do? Like once we get to the castle, like what are we thinking?"
I have not thought that far ahead. I'm open to suggestions. What are, because they're gonna be asking us where the bride is. Or do we? It's either we try and lie and prolong what we're trying to do, or we charge in, weapons ablaze and
I would prefer a more subtle lying approach, an attempt to get in a little closer as opposed to storming the castle, so to speak. I don't think we would have much success there. We talked about a story of marauders or Vistani or wolves or something taking out, killing the bride. We hadn't fully decided what to say, but that is the reason that we are separated from our companion, is so that we can lie good.
Okay.
So I think we should stick with that.
And what if they ask us about Irina? What's the game plan there?
Well, I think as far as we know, Irina doesn't have anything to do with like the bride situation. We we want to keep her away from Strahd, and we've done that, but or Squally's done that, I guess. But
I say we don't know. We don't know anything about Irina.
yeah,
Cool.
we don't.
Yeah. Yeah. But what we should, you're right. We should decide on our story of the dead bride.
I'm just thinking too, now we don't have Esmeralda's wagon. So what are we gonna do? Are we presenting that? Because
I think actually we could stand to simply tell the truth about that one. We had Esmeralda's wagon, and we got attacked by a druid and these fucking stick creatures, and now we can just tell them exactly where it's sitting. Doesn't hurt to have a bit of truth in a larger story of lies.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just also thinking if we're gonna be telling these kinds of things where it's we don't know about Irina if it comes up, we lost this wagon, and the bride's gone, it just kind of adds in an element of incompetence that I don't think is gonna be great.
I agree completely, but I do not see another path, because we can't get the cart, we're not getting Irina, and we can't get the bride. Oh, and we could add the wedding dress too, so that's 4. It'll look like a bunch of fuck-ups, really, but I don't see any way around it.
Yeah. Shit.
What happened?
Perhaps
try
he needs
some.
to see us as fuck-ups. Perhaps that will work in our favor.
We try and make him underestimate us.
I mean, at this point, we have little choice. It's very possible with his eyes and ears, he has already. It is possible he's heard that we have created a fuck us with the Vistani. I don't know. We have to hope he hasn't heard about anything else. I mean, do
Well.
we tell him the truth about how Izzy died? I'm sure he is certainly familiar with that witch. He would understand that we did not have an easy time with her.
I mean, I think we can tell him that. I'm just worried that it's gonna make us look. Well, it's not even that I'm worried about how we look. I don't fucking care how we look in front of him. I don't know what he has planned. And I'm really, really worried that if we come up short on any respect, that we are gonna be in a worse place. Not even having the ability, like, to even see the wedding.
Yeah. Well, agreed, but I am open to suggestion, but I don't know how else to play this. I mean, either we A, storm. I don't think that's a good idea. B, try to sneak in. No.
Well, we don't need to do that because we are invited. Like,
Yeah.
they're expecting us there, so we don't need to storm in. We don't need to.
I
But the
agree.
longer we wait on our attack, the more time. I think that gives them more time to either assume something is up or come up with some sort of counter attack or
Agreed.
some kind of trap. So the
Agreed.
longer we wait on how we deal with it, the more difficult it will be.
Well, I agree. I have a feeling we will know when the time is right. If there's one thing Strahd is, it is extremely confident to the point of overconfidence, perhaps. Or I'm wrong and he knows everything that's happened and we're screwed either way. So we let him have his little game with us and we do our best when we feel the time is right. There is no way we can know all the variables going in here. Not a chance. Not with him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can appear out of nowhere, bite a neck, and poof, gone. Little fucker.
As you all conclude on this point, a wagon begins to come out. Two, in fact. Two wagons with horses begin to come through. Ratka standing at the side of one of them, sitting with his feet up at one. Well, do you all care to climb aboard?
Well, I certainly do.
Come on, friends. We will go into our camp, where we will drink much wine, and we will have many, 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 many good times before whatever it is we are venturing off for.
Excellent. Wystera hops in next to him at the front of whichever one he's driving.
All right. Sit there. You kind of have to sit between him and another Vistani.
Oh, I didn't
who's
realize that.
in the
Okay,
corner.
in that case,
'Cause-
no, I won't do that. I didn't realize that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You're welcome to. I just need to. I need to drive.
Oh well, thanks.
It's a
Thank
little
you.
squish, but Yeah, the little thin pencil-y Vistani right beside. Yeah. The horns, nice. They're right by his friggin' head.
What I thought.
Begin to go. You guys load up onto the carts and you begin to make your way to the Vistani camp. Sly, where are you sitting? Just so I know. Like, how are you going to be sitting? Are you
Is this a
sitting-
similar cart to what Esmeralda's was, where it's like,
Yeah.
or is
Yes.
it more of a
Not as
wagon?
elaborate in its and unique in its design or as sturdy, but yes.
Hmm. Not sturdy. Well, then I guess there's not enough room up front, so I guess I would just kind of
Well, there's two.
sit.
There's two.
Wagons or carts,
Well, they're actual like caravan wagons.
like an actual
Yeah.
like stagecoach kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, stagecoach kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So not too sturdy. I wouldn't sit on the roof. I guess Sly will just sit. You said there's two. Is there one?
Yeah.
Is the other one that's being driven? Is there room up front?
Yeah, there's room. There's one Vistani.
It's not
There's a
like the other
woman
one.
regarding that largely muscular woman up to the side, dark brown skin. You sit up side, kind of
Yeah.
like looks at your marks and scars and kind of gives a little smile and gives a little whip.
So I'll give a little nod. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You all continue down the road, passing over the bridge, going past the mountains. You pass by the gallows. All of you see the same thing Squally had seen. The graves marked 3 with Squally, with Squally. No. Sly, Eren, and Kari's name, and one that is unmarked. As you are going by here, Sly, you notice that you are all going off on from the main path into a side road that goes into the forest. As you go past there, you notice Squally's footprints go down to the village of Barovia. And you're detecting high purple. You're detecting high purple pride at this moment as well. This is the proud standing Squally at this point.
Where are? Because I'm at the front of one wagon, or Vista's at the front of the other. Where are Eren and
Oh,
Kari?
Eren's in the back making small talk with like some of the Vistani in one, and Kari's in the wagon with that Wystera was in. With their in that wagon. But yeah, Eren's
How far ahead is the other wagon?
about 20 feet, given a nice little space.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to. How fast are the wagons going? Can I like? Is it feasible for me to like run up ahead to the other one and tell Wystera that Squally's tracks led to Barovia?
Sure. Yeah, if you wanted to signal up, you can do that. They're going.
Well,
I mean,
sure.
they're going at a pretty leisurely travel pace. You know, like maybe I'd say at least 30, 40 miles an hour. Like, you know, not too fast, but it's like you could run up to that pretty quick.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. You hop on, rush up, and you rush up to the side where Vystera is, catch on, and you see that one skinny person's like, we're getting a little tight on the room here. If someone wants to join, I can see
I just
that
ignore him and as he's talking.
Okay.
Wystera. Wystera. Squally's tracks are leading into the town of Barovia.
Okay. All right.
Radka, how far are we from base?
How far are you from the
I
village?
asked Radka how far we are from the village or from the base where we're headed.
Oh, we're only a few minutes away. We're going to be arriving shortly.
We think of
We
stop
can-
there, settle in a bit, and then
yeah, we'll discuss this when we get there. Absolutely. Thank you.
and then
Oh.
Sai will head back to the other wagon.
Right. You go back. I say, oh, thank goodness. You get back onto the other wagon, and yeah, within a couple minutes, you just begin to encircle, and you guys see the festive Vistani celebrating with their music, having like some wine out, just kind of like a couple bottles. Radka steps up, like jumps off, and says, "My friends, tonight we will feast!" And everyone is just kind of like cheering at this moment. Yeah, but you all begin to step down at this point. Yeah, Radka looks to you, Wystera, and says, so where is this meal? What is this where do you have this?
Yeah, okay. So let me explain. It is a spell. And
All right.
yes, and what it takes, so the benefits to those of us who are perhaps going into battle is this feast can cure diseases and poison. You become immune to poison and being frightened. It is very, very amazing spell. The little problem is that, as I mentioned, it requires a something similar. I do not know whether it has to be exact. I am not versed, but this scroll says you need something similar to a bowl, a gold bowl encrusted in jewels that is approximately worth 1,000 gold pieces, more or less.
Well, that is I can see the riches you have in the back, and that is
Yeah.
well, and that you had procured before.
This
Wow.
is why we were carrying all this heavy gold.
See. Did you guys carried the sun with you, or did you just carry the
We carried the sun and the
candelabra?
3 candlesticks, but we
Oh.
lost the sun. I still have the candelabra candlesticks.
As well? I can say that's quite expensive.
Yes.
Um,
So I have
Really-
these, and I show him my large candlesticks for them.
of course. Oof,
It's a
these are quite
start,
nice.
but I know I am asking, but this spell, oh my, it is.
You know what? I understand. And you have all gone through quite a bit, I can see. And we have all been enduring quite a bit as of late. Give me a moment. He takes the candelabras, goes off into a tent, and he pulls out a kind of like a purple silk bundle. And it's like holds it out, and it's like a giant, like almost like egg shape. And he begins to walk towards you all. And he slowly begins to unfold it. And then underneath, you can see this beautiful platinum bowl, this dish that's kind of like looks like almost like this, like kind of like almost like a song bowl with gorgeous like sapphires, turquoise mixing, like kind of like deep set gemstones, a lovely gold trim around it. It is an elegant and beautiful piece. And he says, when you travel out in the world, there are many riches to be found. And this particular one, I think we can present and maybe able to find some use for it. What do you say?
Radka, thank you so much. Yes, this will work.
And of course, and whatever will keep us safe as well, because we are looking to be traveling with you as well into the
Yes.
castle.
Yes, I believe, if I understand this scroll, that this feast will work for 12 people.
Wonderful. Then let us prepare it. Let us see this scroll. He begins to bring everyone, set them all around. Everyone, there's a bunch of Vistani that come around here. They're quite excited. So yeah, you pull out the scroll. Great. You cannot read it. Raka looks at it and he's like, so what do we do?
Well, one minor extra little problem is I was told much of this, but I am not versed in this language and able to cast a spell on my own. Would you perhaps pass it around and see if anyone has these skills? And I give it to him. I give the scroll to him.
Takes it and he says, okay. Kind of passes it around from Vistani to Vistani. Some of them are just like, oh, all confused glances. None of the Vistani that are gathered here have any acknowledgement of this particular scroll. While this is happening, I want you to make an Arcana check.
Seven.
Unfortunately, you do not know the necessary casters that need to be prominent here to be able to bring this spell to you. So as you see everyone go through here, nobody knows how to bring this spell out. And he says, I sorry, unfortunately, none of us can read it. And he presents it to Eren. Eren's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Very well. All is not lost. We will figure this out. I look over it. Kari, Sly, Eren, may I have a word?
I mean, yeah, we're right here.
Yeah. So he gathers. So, any ideas? I think the witch is out. This is Wystera's attempt to make a joke again.
I don't know.
Clearly needs some sort of high-end spellcaster to some extent.
That's not in my expertise at all.
Have we met anyone that would be able to, besides those we're trying to kill?
There was that guy who made himself real old.
Yeah, probably the abbot could have done this. Jesus.
Yeah, that ship sailed.
Yeah, yes. Fuck. We're so close. There has to be somebody. We've got this freaking bowl now.
I mean, that old guy, he was young before. Now he's just like an old geezer. I think that if he was going to be doing something with this, it probably would spill out of his body or something like that, like some kind of messed up, twisted thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Bildrath?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. I wonder.
I don't want to have it come. I don't want to eat whatever's going to come out of his stomach. I'm not saying like I don't think that's going to work.
I know. I just I mean, maybe that whole stomach thing was a one-time thing. I don't know. Or maybe he might know.
Last time his eye popped out. Like I don't want that to happen
Yeah, but
again.
we didn't have to eat his eye.
Well,
Yeah, but that's
I'll
just because
take-
he. That's just because he turned somebody from not being old. What's going to happen if he has to procure an entire feast for everybody? That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know, like, what's going to happen with that.
you're not wrong, but if he can do it, or maybe he'll know who could do it.
Well, he's probably going to ask for like more than 1,000 like gold pieces. He's probably asking for 7 of those bolts, kind of thing. You know, like he's not going to do it for free.
Right, then we have to. Right, then there's the charge, not just the bolt. Ah! Mistress stomps her foot hoof.
There's a moment when Ratka, while you guys are kind of going through this, Ratka does look over and around. He says, "May I see that for a second?" Kind of interrupts all of you.
Of course. Actually, he's still got it, I think.
Oh, he does? Okay, great. So he just takes that and he goes over to Madame Ava's tent, which does have the lights, candle lights on. He goes in and he steps out a few moments later. He says, "So, Madame Ava," he said, "can read this, knows what this is." And she says she is willing to read the scroll itself, but one person is not allowed to feast and must join her for a reading.
Did she say who that is to be?
She did not say who that is to be. I can say that my people are probably not going to be interested in that because they, get that
Understood.
on. So whoever is interested is welcome to it.
So one person cannot take of the feast and, as such, goes in for a reading with Madame Ava. Instead.
What are the benefits of the feast again? What does it do?
As far as Wystera can remember, immunity to being poisoned and frightened.
You're immune to poison, disease, frightened. You also get 2d6 max HP increase for 24 hours.
2d10, I think.
Or maybe it's 2d10, yeah. 2d10 HP increase.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wystera looks around and says,
Sly.
"Look, I am already somewhat immune to some poisons. Not immune, but I can handle them better than some. I would be
But if you get hit, like
yes.
you can't take as much as, say, Eren or I.
Well, that's true. I am willing, but you have a point.
Um,
Eren, what
we
do
can
you
check
think?
something.
I mean, I don't know exactly what I would need from a reading specifically. I could talk to her. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty beefy. I'd like to drink. I'd like to have something to eat. I'm pretty hungry, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's really about who is going to be willing to not go in with these extra. To go up against Strahd without being immune to being
I
frightened.
can go.
Or is like Sly, you want to go?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
can.
sure?
Sure, I can do that. You guys can use that buff better.
Okay.
Okay.
And with the 6 spear, I have a feeling Strahd's gonna try and avoid being near me as I pat the blood spear.
Fair enough.
Right. Okay. Well, sounds good. So then, if that's the case, we'll go. We'll take care of that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Sly.
Will Sly be taking his reading before we cast this spell, or?
Radka says, well, it is, I think Madame Eva is going to prepare the meal, and then while everything is happening, Sly, you will be able to come in.
Understood. Thank you, Radka, very much.
Of course.
And thank Madame Eva for me as well.
He begins to go through into the tent. He comes back out. Madame Ava, first time you guys have seen her out of the tent, walking in with her kind of like ochre robes, many jewels, many pendulums, beautiful hoop rings around her, wrapping around her head. She comes up with like silver and gold on her fingers. She walks.
Wystera straightens up just a little bit as she.
Fantastic. On one table that is kind of presented, she sets the bowl in the center. And I wish I knew what Eren liked for food, but I want to ask preference for you, Wystera. Like, what is like Vystra's favorite kind of food?
Stroganoff.
Oh,
Beef
fantastic.
or lamb stroganoff.
Wonderful. Kari loves kind of this, you can speak as Madame Eva presents to everyone, says, please, family and friends, please offer to this banquet. What shall we fill our bellies with today? They all begin to put, everybody's talking about wine. Everybody wants some wine. Someone wants some seared steak with wine sauce. They want like some kind of burgundy sauce for themselves. And it keeps coming up. And a lot of people are wanting some like rolls, like roulades, and people are wanting very like Central European stuff. One person for some reason says they want bamboo. And so they're like, great, we'll get some bamboo straws or something. Eren, oh, what is Eren? What is a halfling barbarian like? I don't know. Something. Everybody, let's change Eren's character. What do halfling barbarians like?
What would you want?
Kylah, what do halfling barbarians like?
Well, he likes animals.
Stew.
Stew, good
Okay.
beer.
A big old
Little
animal
World,
stew.
rough
Then.
in the
world
meat.
peas.
World peace.
Peas.
Little
A pea
potato
stew.
stew
I think he's
Potato
like
stew with
with
peas.
hunks of
That's
roast
what I ate for
potato.
dinner. And
pea
that's
soup. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
stew.
Eren loves peas, big old potatoes in that soup. That's Eren's go-to. Yeah. So so that's what he gets. Kari's gonna get herself what is it? She's gonna ask for like kind of like a lot of like beautiful samosas and a mix of like kind of curry inspired food. And what is it? Like kind of like the curled cheese, very much like kind of like uh 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 this like curry inspired dishes. And in a matter of in 10 minutes, all of this begin to fill the table and come off to the side on these like blankets that are set to the edge. You guys see a rich bouquet of different wines and flavorful of dishes in front of you. Everything that you could wish is beholden. It is the most bountiful meal you can see before you. It's like you're salivating as you're seeing it. You all begin to take it in, and you are presented with the meal, and music was played, revelry is had, and you are all, everybody that is here, the Vistani, you all begin to come up. Everybody's music begins to spin. People begin to take wine and dance. And with all of this, Sly, Madame Ava walks away with the scroll. The wording has gone away from it. It's all. It was basically burned up inside of this bowl that was presented, and the bowl itself melted away as all of this began to come through. Sly Madame Ava looks to you with a very stern look and opens up the tent for you to enter.
I walk on in.
Da,
And
da, da, da.
we're going to take our break right there, and we'll come back in a few minutes.
Make my way down 10.
Awesome.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Thanks,
Beautiful,
Liam.
beautiful. Hey, thank you guys. We'll come back in a couple minutes, and we'll see you all very soon. Whee!
Crazy.
And
Less and less tired this entire night.
Isn't
So.
that crazy?
Exactly. Oh, guys, don't forget to
Life's
drink your.
epiphanies.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you guys can hear that right now, but literally, I cleaned my cat's litter box. He stood there, watched me do it, and immediately crawled in, took a dump, and right now he's just smacking the side of the wall.
Yeah. Trinity does that too. She'll
You did it?
sit there and wait
That's
for
why
it to be
cats
cleaned.
suck.
And if Neo tries to get in before her, she smacks him.
Oh,
Smack.
He was making a little
Cats
dance sound.
My clean litter box. I'm the
This
princess.
is the cat
finished it.
episode.
The literal instant I finished, he like was waiting. His paw was ready.
You know, so funny.
the cats
Highlight
suck.
of the day, a clean litter box, apparently.
Yeah.
They don't suck. I mean, how cute was that when he cuddled up with me a little bit ago?
I know,
It was
I love that.
distracting as hell.
I know,
Interrupting.
it was great. The DM was like,
so
cute.
Interrupted our very deep
Do
moments
you
of.
mind? We're in the middle of something right now.
Yeah. We're in the middle of something, and they're about to eat a big old meal, and that cat's just like, meh, I'm gonna be right here. Meh.
I want to be a stole.
he's just
All
a
of-
baby.
A baby. Oh, well, that baby needs to learn its lesson.
It's
I
just because
told you.
Adam's not home, so I'm out in the open. So now he wants
Right.
cuddle time.
I was gonna say Squally's thing with ducks is certainly my opinion of cats.
I emailed you guys the screenshot I took, and it's really great because Noah's deep in thought. I'm got a big smile on my face, and Liam looks stunned.
I'm like,
Deep in thought.
what is this? A cat?
I'm either deep in thought or I'm totally zoned out.
I'm choosing to go
Cat.
deep in thought.
You'll go deep in thought.
That's
I'm
why water's
glad
good.
you have that much.
That's an awesome
Faith in me.
picture of cat and favorite.
So,
anyway,
coming back into it, we go to you, Squally. Speaking with Ismark, what do you share with Ismark about what has been transpiring and what you are doing here, and with what Irene is doing here? What do you share? What do you divulge?
Oh, sorry, I did something. Oh no. 1 second. There we go. The last time I spoke with him, I told him his sister was safe.
Mhm.
But she really wasn't. I'm not gonna give like the whole background about Sergio, dude.
Okay.
And yeah. But I'm gonna. We had like a weird conversation where it was kind of like, you know what she's right? I'd kind of talked to her about being the bride. Did I tell him about that?
Yeah, yeah. I believe you had had a conversation with her about that. Yeah.
Her about that, but did I talk to him about it? I think it was like weirdly, no, I don't think I
Well,
anything, hey?
I don't know how much you had discussed in terms of the wedding off the top of my head. I think it was like he's concerned about Irina's nature because Strahd was hunting after her. I don't know exactly if he has been divulged in the idea of that there is like maybe an intention about this wedding kind of situation.
Okay. Okay. I kind of share that we found her in the town. I'll say that something seemed off, and mainly that was like her talking to the water. Um, hmm.
Oh wow, okay.
And just that we no longer felt she was safe in the town.
Okay, that's all you share?
At the moment.
Okay. Um in his in kind of the main reception hall of his father's home, he expresses he just kind of says, well, I understand. I mean, I understand the concern for safety. I was I mean, I personally was like feeling like this is not going to be any safer, but I mean, that does seem rather odd.
I felt the need to give her a choice where she would feel safest. We attempted to keep her with us to make sure we could keep a close eye on her. Then again, we were on several missions at once, and it makes sense that she didn't totally feel safe with us either, as we've been gallivanting about. And she said she'd feel safest near you and close to you, but we couldn't leave her alone. It was too much to do so. We couldn't do it.
No, of course. That makes sense to me. I suppose I'm just wondering about well, you had said before that there was like druids that were on the way, and you said that there are these other things. Like what is all that exactly?
That I don't know. I overheard it. I did overhear it sneaking away, right? That was me. Am I thinking it was someone else?
No, you guys had heard this when you were all at the hill uh as you were getting Sly's spear. So
Okay. I
yeah,
was there
you'd
with her.
overheard this.
Okay.
Yeah, you were there hearing this from a druid talking about like with the mountain folk as well, yeah.
Yeah. Because I wasn't there for that day.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't there, but Squally was there. Okay. Yeah, we basically I just tell him we just overheard it, that it was happening. And I believe as I was leaving, I was passing Valaki when Irina and I were passing Valaki, we did see them attack the town there. And I'm not sure how many towns they're trying to go to, but it sounded like they were headed towards all the big ones.
I see. Well, whatever kind of forces are out there in the forest, I'm pretty sure they're all going to be trying to converge on all of us. I mean, I was attacked by the scarecrows when I was coming back here, so that had happened. Um, I remember, well, the activities right now in terms of corpses have been more intimidation tactics. We've been doing our best to like go through the homes and take care of that, but slow. It's a slow process.
Do you know why they're trying to intimidate you? Like what? what is the objective to intimidating you?
I mean, as far as I understand it, the entire process is just simply just attacking us, wearing us down, getting us to secede or give something up, but I don't know exactly. Doesn't change anything. We're already as miserable as can be.
What would they want you to give up?
I haven't the slightest idea. I feel as if right now we're rebolstering, supporting each other. I don't know if it may have to do with the situation of the old women that came through here. They haven't been here in a couple of days. So maybe they suspect something with that. I mean, he looks at you like you had all taken care of that one that was through here, so maybe it's retaliation for that. But the wolves themselves, I don't know.
Well, initially you had asked us to remove Irina because of the wolves.
Yes. Well, because of everything. It was because of the wolves. It was because of the devil. It was because of all of that. I have to be honest, the reason I had wanted you to take her out was mainly because of him. I was concerned that she was becoming a source of obsession and that was bringing us well, closer and closer. In order to get to her, he had done many tactics. Yes. Yes. Him.
Do you know why he's obsessed with him? Her,
I
sorry.
haven't the slightest
Why is
idea.
he obsessed with Irina? I might have an inkling or some story to share if you have the time to listen. And then if he says yes, I'd like to tell him about Sergei and what I know about the bride and that she might be the bride.
Okay. Ismark pulls back, taking this in. So she's not just herself. Is that what you're saying?
I worry that right now, yes, she is herself, but I worry that she will become the reincarnation if she's taken during the reception for the wedding or something. And this is why I found it so important for her to be with you.
And the wedding's tomorrow.
We do know, and I also yeah, we do know that someone was trying to find her in the town to bring her to him, and everyone, his minions, have been saying we need to bring the bride. We have done everything in our power to make sure that he does not get to Irina at this time. And maybe if we can hold out another night, maybe she'll be okay, as long as he doesn't know where she is.
I feel like that's the best solution. Here's the trick. We need to make sure that we don't we need to make sure she doesn't have any opportunity to be like grabbed at all. She needs to stay here. She needs to stay here.
Yes.
I need to make sure I can go out with everybody else to figure out this hunting party. I was going to ask if you could help with that, but now,
Hunting
yes,
the
to figure
wolves?
out the situation.
I mean, I have fought my share of wolves. Or do you mean the stick people? I'm not really good with either.
Well, we are looking for the people that were dragged off. That is the main thing that we're kind of focusing on. But the problem is that the wolves that have come through here, they're larger than the ones that have been through before.
I see.
And that I'm concerned about.
They
We
have
noticed
blue eyes.
sometimes we've noticed that blue eyes in some of the smaller ones. Some of these ones don't, though. Their eyes are like a dark red or like an orange of some sorts.
On our way here, we saw quite a number of wolves with the red cloaked individuals in close to Valaki.
I don't know what this red cloak thing is, but the devil has many spies, and I'm pretty
Me
sure
too.
that the wolves knew them.
Vampires. Lots of
Hmm.
vampires.
Well, that's concerning.
Indeed.
Doesn't look like we can go up north at all.
It seems though that the oh my gosh, I want to say Valaki and that's wrong. The oh my gosh.
Valakian?
No. What are the gypsy people?
Vistani?
Thank you. All I had was Wystera and everything else in my head. The Vistani are there as well, keeping them at bay. I'm not, I don't know the full story, but as far as I saw, Valaki was filled with Vistani who were set around town walking around, and a lot of the vampires we saw were indoors. But it still seems like the red hooded people are also very prevalent. I'm not sure what the power dynamic is or what's happening, but
The Vistani are not. I don't know the situation, but I can tell you the Vistani are not going to be able to hold them at bay.
it doesn't seem like they're trying to. I just witnessed a few of them shoot a vampire who's to stay inside, but they walk around freely. They're in the town.
Well,
It's
that's
like
the
there's
simple
some-
nature of them. They're able to have the free nature of this place. They have been given access to that by some form or another. They can travel in and out of this valley, unlike many of us.
Hmm. Um, I'd be happy to help wherever you need today. I was supposed to meet a friend later in the evening. I do have one question for you. Did you ever know a man named Ishnak?
Isnek?
Yes.
Don't know Ishnak. No.
A very scary looking dude with a interesting arm. He has very similar eyes to Irina. He's not alive anymore, but he worked alongside the burgomaster in Valaki before the Red Hoods took over. And this man had in his room dolls that looked just like Irina. And I just couldn't shake the uncanny resemblance of the two.
Isek. Isek. I've know that name.
Yes?
There is a there was a rumor that had come through. Some Vistanians or not Vistanians, Valakinians had come through. They had talked about a man, a enforcer for the burgomaster. His arm was like a infernal, hellish nightmare,
That's the
one
one.
that could produce fire. I don't know anything else about this individual. Anytime I would speak to my father about it, he would not divulge anything. I was told to avoid this person. You said he had dolls of Irina?
Yes, everywhere. And quite honestly, I can't. They look too similar. It's a weird. I don't know why.
Where is this individual now? Why are you talking to me about this?
Just because it's come up. He's dead. We killed him. But I don't know. I wondered if he had something to do with all of this or had any idea if there was any relation or importance to Irina, to this man.
Well, if he's dead and you all took care of that, and if he did have any desire towards Irina, then I would say you probably saved her life, and you probably did a very good thing in killing him. Well, Squally, I will let you know. Right now, I think keeping Irina safe is important. If you need to get going somewhere, then you can probably stay here until I return with the hunting party, or if you wish to go with the party itself and see that through, then I would say that that would be more than enough. And then after that, just let me know what you find, and then you are welcome to go. I mean, you're welcome to go now if you wish, but this has all been very useful information.
I can certainly lend a. What time of day is it, DM?
It's getting into like pretty early evening.
Mm-hmm. And how long did it take me to get to that spot where Stanimir is?
Oh, a few hours at least. Yeah.
It's pretty far.
Yeah.
It was a few hours for me to. I thought we
From
just saw
standing here to get all the way to Barovia? Yeah.
Okay. Um. I was supposed to meet a friend this evening, but I feel I'm more needed here. I can see if he's still there in the morning.
Okay. Well, then I'll let you
I
decide. Do you wish to stay here to watch Irina or go with the party?
do feel you should stay with Irina. If you have any tips on how to help a search party, hunting party, please let me know.
Well, we don't have many tips. Many of them have been talking about how their tools have been ineffective against some of these wolves, but I don't know exactly what they're talking about. You can ask them about that, but myself, I don't know too much.
Certainly. I think again, I strongly feel you should stay here.
Wonderful. The head scout of the party, his name is Giorgio. You can speak to him, and yes, him and his wife are organizing the party. Just go speak to them.
Certainly. I
Yes.
will check back in when we come back.
Oh, and her name is um, Gina. Giorgio and Gina. Yeah. Thank you, Squally. Thank you. And he goes up the stairs.
I go in search of Gina and Giorgio.
Okay. You go out of the estate. First things first. Wystera, I want you to please roll 2d10.
You got it. Two D10. I have 2 sevens.
Okay. You, Kari, Eren, and all of these Vistani increase their maximum HP by 14.
You.
And that is going to stay that way for the day.
Outstanding. Thank you.
During this whole process, Ratka speaks to you exclusively and says, so when we go into this castle, when we go into the castle of Ravenloft, I want to know exactly what is the plan? What are we thinking of doing? What is what?
Well, taking a broad view, what is killing Strahd? The plan.
That's what I say.
Yeah. The plan, he is going to, and I go through the story of Dress, Golem Bride, and I tell him about Izzy as well. So I'll tell him all about that and then say, so our plan is to lie, and assuming he doesn't know the truth of these things, wait for a moment to strike. Unless you have some other thoughts, we are always open to.
I think that's a great plan. I think that was a plan that I just heard, but your talk about it is like oh, you're talking about that's gross. So that thing was like going to be the bride and it was like made up of like stitched people and things.
Yes, we are still not. Yep. We are still not clear on what that thing was and why it was necessary versus Irina, but
And it's just like, "Hurrah."
yep. It was not pretty, let me tell you.
Well, there's going to be a lot of less pretty things to happen in that castle. I tell you what. So okay, here's what I'm going to say. I think that going in there is just a very good idea. I think it's going to be very important though that we have got so here we got an invitation to the wedding.
Yes.
What we will do is we will get you sent up, and then you will be able to go in, and then the next morning we will come from the mountain, like come down, and what we will do is we will sneak in and mingle with the other Vistani and the other people in cloaks or whoever the fuck shows up, and we will make ourselves look like we are part of the groups, but we will not be.
That is an excellent suggestion. Did you say the next morning after?
That is correct. We will mix in with the wedding party, and then we will be inside, and we will end. Not be with them, but with you.
That sounds excellent. Thank you.
And so what we will do is hey, Salazi, come here, Salazi. You see this strong woman come up before you, Salazi. This here is Wystera. Salazi is like currently eating a full chicken just in
Nice.
her hands.
Yep.
Salazi, so Wystera here, we have a plan where we are going to be sneaking around with the other Vistani, and we are not going to be with them, the Vistani. What we are going to do is be like sneaky hidden. So I wanted to know what would be a good idea. And Salazi says, well, one of the things we could do is we could give a little symbol of the fact that we are, something to identify ourselves with. That is a brilliant idea, Salazi. In fact, and he goes over and takes her hand and takes a tiny little like trinket, like a little kind of like gem needle, and he sticks it into one of her rings and pops the gemstone out, and he catches it and he says, here's what we're going to do. The ones who are with you, they are not going to have any gemstones in some of their rings. And this is like kind of like a flawed kind of like little green gem. He takes out pops a little like yellow, like a topaz ring out of one of his rings. Whenever you are looking to see a friend of yours, Wystera, you just have to look for the one who did not take the riches from this land.
Very, very clever, I say, putting my hand on his shoulder.
And he falls onto the table.
Perfect.
And Salazi goes and takes the gemstones from his hand and puts them in her pocket and nods to you and goes off and finishes her chicken.
Good. And I go off. I assume Sly is still in the tent.
Yes.
Okay, then I go to Kari, Eren, and I tell them this gemstone trick story thing.
Oh, that's so good. And this is so good. And Kari's just eating this like curry spice food, like mixing it up with her hands, like she's just eating on, and she's just like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Eren's like,
Fantastic.
I like wine.
Kari, which Vistani are with us?
Oh, the ones with no rings or no gems in the rings.
Outstanding. And then I turn to Eren. Which Vistani are with us?
Wine is so good. Wine is so good. I love it.
I plink him. Which? So
You're like really purple.
thank you. You are very, very you.
I am me.
Yes. I will probably tell you this again in a few hours, but right now I'm going to tell you again. The Vistani that are with us in Strahd's castle where we could die. Are you with me?
The Vistani cows can
Blink.
still as it. Ow! Purple.
The Vistani who are with us have no gems on their rings, on their hands. Say again.
No gams on their clings.
Good enough for now. Thank you.
I got gams for days. He pulls up his leg.
I
And
know
he's like,
you
I
do.
got 2 gams. I got 1 hand. And I got a whole lot in me. And I'm not doing really. And he just starts
Wystera
like,
heads off and sits by herself against her wagon wheel.
for sure. As you guys all sat there, eating and drinking, Sly, we go to the tent.
Woohoo! The tent. The tent. Chaka, doom, chaka, chaka,
Do 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 Dude.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Tent. We are going to the tent.
Recording in progress.
This is an audio. Ooh.
Checking to see that.
A multimedia production event.
There we go. Oh. There we go. Okay. It's good. I want to make sure that there's no audio. Yeah, can you talk, Noah? Just right there?
Hello.
Okay, good.
God.
Oh. There shouldn't be any nobody's hearing any interference or any kind of warbling or any of that.
No, your phone's muted, so that's good.
Good. Okay, great. There, and I disconnected the audio. Okay, great. Sorry, that is always just a pain in the butt, is the disconnection of audio. Alrighty. There. So, Sly,
Yes.
you sit before Madame Ava. She looks at you for some time, pulls out her box, wooden box, and pulls out the silk wrapped cards that you have not seen in some time now. So, it has been a while since you've entered into my tent.
Yeah, it's been yeah, been a while. Like what you done with the place? It's a nice looking area, homey for sure. Mm-hmm.
You follow the star.
I felt the star.
Fred,
Ooh,
your fate. Have you followed your fate's destination, your journey?
um, I I think so. Um, hmm. Um, is that what this is? And I hold up the blood spear.
She looks at the spear and is just like, that, I don't know what that is.
Ah, okay.
Well, at least that's
Hmm.
something I haven't seen in a very long time.
Well,
Quite a primitive weapon that you're carrying with you.
yeah. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know why? These things are classics for a reason. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
No, that is not what I was talking about before. I'm talking about the spread I had
Oh,
made for
okay.
you all as you entered in.
Yeah. I have that written here, but none of what it means. We met you, and then long story short, I died.
Mhm.
But uh so there have been a few, distractions from that initial prophecy. Um but I hmm,
She slams her hands on the cards. closes her eyes. I want you to focus with me. I can sense that you are scattered here. You wear the lacerations of 100 men, and yet you seem to walk with great ease, unburdened.
Yeah, I guess it's just kind of like,
Continue to give me your focus. Continue to speak to me. Give me your focus.
so like, is really just like eyes wide, just staring at her.
How is it you stand here or sit a single entity, and yet there are two of you present?
Ooh. Oh, you're talking about Caliban? Is he here?
It's like, yeah, bro, I'm right here. I'm here, man.
Oh, hey man, yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah. Um, I don't know, he just kind of seems like a pal that comes with me. He doesn't seem to be like, you know, in control or anything like that, or like what was going on before where I'd kind of,
No,
you know,
I'm not reading that. I'm not feeling that there is a sense of fighting for control. You know the actual fate of this Kavan?
um, I mean, he kind of told me, um, Calvin, did you ever like kind of talk about what the specifics of your like little fallout there?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, bro, like I tell you, like I was just like, killing a lot of guys. And wait, it's like she like talking about me?
Do you not hear what like I hear?
It was like I'm
You're
like,
not.
she's like talking about me right now. Like that's pretty crazy. Like that's nice. Tell her it's nice that she's talking about me.
Uh, okay, I can do that. Calvin says it's nice that you're talking about him and asking about him. He thinks that's kind of that's very thoughtful of you.
See, she starts to lay out cards in front of you. So he didn't share too much about his own fate.
I mean, I think it was the similar druids that we faced and different corruption within the his faction and other warring clans that I kind of just assumed, you know, like overpowered in battle. That happens to happens to the best of us.
Is it something that you fear will happen to yourself?
Like, I mean, it kind of already did,
Again, I mean,
in a sense.
since
I
you're
mean,
dead, you've come back, and now it seems that you've proven yourself to be standing against the tide. Your wounds are quite deep, and yet you do not seem to suffer.
yeah, I kind of, you know, but now in my line of work and everything, you kind of assume every battle can kind of be your last, but you can't be fearful of that. You
Hmm.
know, I just hope that I go out to an honorable foe instead of a little crappy, you know, pussy foe way that I did last time. That was kind of the whole thing. I was kind of like, not how I wanted to go out in the past.
Have you faced an honorable foe?
I think there have been a couple who have challenged me, but clearly I've bested them if I'm the one sitting here and not them.
Have you faced a foe that you feel is truly a worthy competitor to yourself?
Well, there was one guy who, put up a decent fight, and I know eventually we're planning on facing Strahd, who I'm assuming will be a strong adversary.
Certainly strong enough to face off against Kavan.
Calvin, did you deal with Strahd?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Straight up. I did.
You ever told me that?
I told you I fought like a bunch of vampires and stuff, and I
But you
stabbed
never-
a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, but you never told me specifically it was Strahd.
Oh yeah, he like took my head off, man. It was pretty rough. Like he like cut me down. Like it was like, yeah, that
Oh,
was what happened. I'm sorry. Like I didn't give names. Like I'm sorry.
you can name names. I'm not gonna be mad at you for doing that.
Okay, yeah, it was Strahd. It was like that dickhole. It was Strahd. Yeah. Total ass.
Okay.
Yeah. Took my mountain people away from me. It was like really sad.
Oh, crap.
The Howlers like fell down because of this one dude. I was just like, come on, man. Taking the Howlers out of the game. It's like, this is our freaking mountain.
Yeah.
I think he's just like bigoted because he didn't like the fact that we were he's kind of a prude. Doesn't like the fact that we were just like all sexually primed and everything like that. Like,
Mm. Okay, well that's like oof, too much info.
hey,
Don't need to.
you gotta get over it, okay? Like that's what
Well,
if
no,
you
I'm just saying, like I didn't
by the
ask to hear about that. It's like
You gotta
you do
take-
you. You do
Madam
your
Ava's
thing, but
sitting here right now with her hand on the deck, looking at you, just kind of like,
Colin, time and place. Like now's not the time. Like we're in front of a lake.
what's not the
Sorry
time,
about that.
Sly?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
what's
it's
No, Sly, I think this
forget
is
about it.
important.
No,
It's
it's
not the time.
no.
Sly,
We're focusing on this. You
This
told me
is
to
part-
focus on this, and now I'm trying to focus on this.
Sly, we're gonna make it this part of it. There is a part of this.
We
Yes.
don't need to. We're focusing on
We-
this right now.
You came in here, Sly.
Caliban was going off
You
topic.
wanted a reading.
It didn't matter. You wanted someone to have a reading. I
No.
just was the one who happened to
You
say that
offered
I could
yourself
do
in.
it.
We
Yeah,
are here
because
to
I was like
attack
the other
energy,
people
Sly.
needed to. Yeah, so
course.
I'm here.
I
to
see.
the one-
She puts another card down right as you're
that-
talking.
Is that bad? Like
No, it's not. We are going through a journey for yourself, Sly. This is your
Oh,
own
okay.
journey. What are you holding back? What
I'm
are
not
you afraid?
holding anything back. It's
There is
Caliban's journey.
There's a fear that you're bridging, and there's something that you're holding back, Sly. There's
No,
something.
Caliban was just talking about his past. It has nothing to do with my journey.
What exactly does not have to do with your journey?
Okay, well,
What
he
is-
was thinking it was kind of bigoted of Strahd to go after the mountain people because, in his words, they're sexually primed. And I was like, okay, well, that's irrelevant at the moment. That has nothing to
Why
do
is that
with
irrelevant at the moment,
at the
Sly?
moment right now. Why does that have to do with us going into the castle to kill Strahd?
Sexual energy is a very important thing to discuss.
But why do we need to talk about it?
You are facing an
this?
entity who is intrusive towards the physical into the physical consent of other creatures. Being able to master and understand your own sexuality may be something that can allow you to overpower this being.
But why?
Sly, do you yourself, are you closed to that energy in your own heart? Have you allowed your heart to sing?
Have I allowed? I don't know if I put it that way.
Have you ever been partnered, Sly? Have you ever connected with anyone?
Not an official, There have been, in the past, but in my clan, I wasn't top of the pecking order, as we'll say, So
You're
it's,
Kavango. Whoa, Sly, what? You weren't? What?
no, I mean, well, but in a clan full of in orcs, and I'm like this weird, hairy, marked up guy. No one really. No, I wasn't. I wasn't the cream of the crop, you know.
I see. Sly, I want you to hold on to this card. This is yours. She passes you a card. Don't turn it over. Not yet. That's your card. Let us look through your spread. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Sly, you have a very interesting carriage with you.
Thank you.
Kavan is an interesting journeyman to have with you, a soul to share. This card up at the top, Sly. This represents Kavan's journey. It was a short one. It was simple, but it represents his death. What we have represented here is the artifact, the horseman, both elements of the master deck, and then leading all the way to the conjurer. The artifact itself is a treasured possession. Now you wield that possession right now with yourself. This primitive spear that you carry with you. It is enveloped in shadow. It's a very corrupted weapon, one that was corrupted by himself, but imbued with great power. Not corrupted to the same extent that had essentially, brought about much of the darkness into this land. It was before that time. But the artifact led to the horseman, the card of death, the merchant of death, actually. As you can see from the card, the sword itself is upright, carried on with a bloody sword. The being itself is the one that wields death. This was what Kavan was. Mounted. I don't know exactly what he was mounting upon this. It could be a horse. Kavan whispers, he's like, yeah, I was mounting some stuff. I was definitely doing that. Yeah, that's for sure. And Madame Ava says, but through one element or another, Kavan had ridden off into battle to some extent, believing himself to be the merchant of death. With a great and powerful artifact, this energy of death and destruction carried over to that of the conjurer. Do you know much about the arcane arts, Sly?
Not really.
Okay. Well, the conjurer is the 9th card that is represented within the mark of stars. This suit is tied with that of great arcanic energy.
Mhm.
Comes up a couple of times, actually. You actually hold the master of this suit within the wizard, but that's tied to another energy that we will discuss. The conjurer is a manifestation of one that would be God, to bring manifestation into things that do not exist. So what this means is that Kavan believed that with this artifact and wielding it into this destruction, this harbinger of death, that he would become the manifestation of God. But this card itself is also in the reverse, in shadow, believing to be God in a more nefarious sense, the darker side to manifest blood magic. And it is so true. I can feel that your weapon radiates this tremendous power. So what we see here is a short journey. A short one, but simple. One of an individual that carries with them a powerful weapon, believing themselves to be destined for this one opportunity, and then attempting to take it. What's interesting is that there is a bridging. The bridging is the druid, also in darkness, twisting of nature itself. I believe this is something that you and Kavan hold quite true. These druids that you had spoken of before, the roots grow deep, and as you can see in the reverse here, the roots grow even deeper into the darker sides of the earth. Wherever you had pulled this weapon from, Sly, was from the darkest places of the earth itself. Let us focus on yourself now, turning to your own journey. Your journey is marked with 2 cards. One of faith, a healer. You were talking before about your fear. This represents your fear. These 2 cards in an element. But it's interesting the merging of 2 different cards. They are mixed together. This corner part is the healer. The healer itself is a manifestation of allowing yourself to go through a faith-based of healing. It is not based on simple suffering of swords. And it's interesting that you do not have any swords aside from the prominent sword of the horseman brought about with a past life of another individual. But yours is marked with very interesting weapons. Here, the healer is represented in your fear. You have gone past this, or are learning to heal from your fears and your terrors. You must have gone through a great deal of healing, Sly. But when you talk about worthy opponents, it's fitting that the next card beside it is a representation of the worthy opponents, where you sit as the executioner. It seems that you're tying in with your healing, your faith in that how you will be able to allow yourself to pass from your wounds is to bring destruction and death, but at the service of another. The executioner is not the king, it is not the Dark Lord, it is the individual who does the bidding of others, which means that you carry over with you something. Or at least it seems that you did before. I can tell that your eyes are not as shadow cast as they were when you had entered in.
No, there's some version of, I guess, some like evil spirits and stuff like that. So,
Sly, do you feel that you are in control of your own devices?
nowadays, yeah, I would say so.
I would say so that too. What's interesting is that the other element here is that you yourself are staring into a great smoke here with the evoker. Staring into it, your face is able to conjure and manifest these powerful sources of channeled magic. Evocation
who's
magic is a
that?
very... my apologies.
Oh, that was in the last reading you gave.
The evoker.
Yeah, we got it as a symbol.
The evoker itself. I believe you are speaking of the enchanter.
No? Because we had 5 points. We had 4 points and 1 in the center. And the number 2 on the south point was labeled as our symbol, was the invoker. The enchanter was our knowledge section on the eastern
That's right.
point.
That's right. The evoker itself was one of them. This here is part of one of the worthy opponents that you had. Did you face it?
I think so. We fought this big tree lady.
This is not a manifestation of nature. That is tied with the druid of faith. That is
Or
more
well,
of a
she
divine
was kind of
magic.
like she was kind of using the magic to create this giant thing, and I may have been turned into a little maggot for a
I
bit, and I
see.
was able to fight her off while I was in that state.
Interesting. I have to ask you, Sly, did you succeed in that face? That fighting?
I mean, I kind of kept pissing her off, and we did lose a powerful ally there, and we didn't end up.
Well,
I don't think we ended up killing her.
it makes sense then that why the beggar is tied to that card. The beggar itself is your connection. It is actually the 6th card within the actual pentacle mix. With the coins, it represents an individual who is longing or in need, has no shame in the idea of asking for aid. That is another thing that you can use to mask your fears. Here it is in the shadow. It seems like whatever needs that you all had was brought to a very dark place. And the loss of this friend may have come from that. The evoker stands in a place of positivity. As shadowcast as it is, a worthy opponent was cast out and destroyed. But it is still a highlight for yourself. It's interesting that it still arises, though, because that does mean that this individual is prominent still in your life and has not fully gone away. Your mixture here, Sly, your fears are being answered. You're tending your wounds, tending your concerns through a rather aggressive action, but you yourself are also moving past times of lowness where you required service in some capacity, where you required the aid of others. Now I want to come to the final bridge. The final 2 cards here, 3 cards. This one, the Meisner. The Miser is the highest card also in the coins suit. It also is in its reverse. And the Miser represents one of coveting, hoarding, protecting, keeping something close. A precious, precious article. Do you keep your friends close to yourself, Sly?
I'm trying to.
It may be wise for yourself to let go, not to concern yourself with materials. This is not a representation of action or emotion, it is of the material world. And so it is important to remember that your possessions are not the thing that must be held close to you. Letting go of them can be equally as helpful. Otherwise, you can descend into, well, tyrannical coveting, becoming someone who locks themselves away in a large and looming structure, locked away only with a chest and the years and years of your experiences. And Sly, I want to talk about the final 2 cards. You have one more card in the Master's suit, and the true marker of the stars, the wizard. Sly, I think you are capable of great power. But I think you are repressing something. A hidden darkness or shame. This feeling of wrought destruction. The broken one is one of the most shattered and harmed individuals. In fact, every one of the breaks upon this mirror represents your cuts. But I think they go a little bit deeper. And it's interesting that this card itself is tied very much to your own sexual energy. There is a shattering here, a break, something where you are rejecting it. It cuts across your body, and while you can take pain quite easily, there is something that is not being released. The wizard, too, the ultimate manifestation of magic, the one who can wield it with great certainty, great ease, manifestation of this arcanic principle and knowledge, and is able to have any ambition whatsoever. The one that can become a conjurer, an evoker, a practitioner of necromancy, could even become an illusionist. You have opened yourself up to every single door. There is infinite possibility in the swirling waves of this being, but it is mixed in shadow, where the waves are overtaking the wizard, and he is simply trying to fend it off. I would encourage you to make sure that you do not try to push against the waves, Sly, but to become a master of them. It's also important to know the placement of the waves, very much in the lower pelvic region of this being. It is the idea of manifesting through fertile energies, but where that can become something of a fraught turning of itself. An overpowering destruction, born out of your own hand. What I find interesting too in your own journey is that the two sixes are represented together. Two nines across. Bridged between a single entity and nature's most prominent caretaker. Sly, I want you to turn over your card right now. Sly, your card is the innocent. Sly, the answer for yourself, your journey. There is a difference between you and Kavan. There is a difference between you and every one of these honorable beings that you have faced. These other creatures that you've found worthy opponents, this mix and fear that you've carried over, and the insecurities that carry within you in your energies, the shattering lacerations upon you, the covetous nature. If you were to follow this same path, in the trajectory you are going, you will end up like any other primal great champion. You will be able to create your own great weapons, to wield into battle, and eventually find yourself to be God, and being sorely, sorely hurt to find that that is not the journey and destiny that you will have. What will separate you from Kavan? What will separate you from so many is your own innocence, your own innocent nature, your purity, your pure naturality. You, Sly, talk about how you were rejected for much of your life. But you were rejected because you were a creature that was mixed in with two beautiful energies. Two beautiful creatures came together and created you. This card is as much you, Sly, as it is as so many other people. The innocents who are attacked and harmed by so many. On this card, the innocent is watched over by fangs, a mouth that waits to attack her. The innocent is in trouble, Sly. What separates you from all the others is your understanding that this being does not deserve retribution. They do not deserve pain. Salvation, protection. You can bring that out of them. And Sly, you will be able to unleash one thing upon anyone. There is one tool that you have. You follow the path of the Berserker, Sly. Follow your bloodlust. Follow your energy. Allow those to be destroyed that deserve it, that harm the innocents. They are worthy of your blade. They are worthy of your spear. And they are worthy of your ferocity. Remember this. As she says these words, the candles flicker around the room. And two things begin to strike you, Sly. You feel a wash in yourself. You feel it cover yourself in this moment. Two different energies. Sly, in the next 24 hours, you will be able to release the energy from two of these cards. The Berserker and the Innocent. So you can say the power of the Berserker and the power of the Innocent. You will be able to choose when you will unleash these particular parts of yourself. I will let you know what that will mean for yourself later. But you will be able to unleash those powers and those energies, unlock them from yourself.
Only once each, or as many times I want within that? It's like I have 24
Once.
hours. Once in those 24 hours?
Once each, for now. She speaks to you, Sly, and says, for now, take these energies, let them manifest in you. If you are to unlock them, and if you are to survive after their power has been released, you may ask yourself the question about which is more personal and important for you to carry with you in your life. The Berserker or the Innocent? Both can be held towards you. Both can be unlocked and unleashed. They are very different. And they're equally as important and powerful. You start to hear the music die down. Madame Eva speaks to you and says, seems that the feast has ended. I hope this helps you out, carries you into good fortune, and can mend the broken mirror. I hope you are aware of the magic you carry with you, Sly.
Sly collects his things, nods to Madame Eva, says, thank you for your time, and then leaves.
The evoker is there, Sly. They are out there. You may see them again. She collects her cards. And closes out the reading. You walk out, and Wystera is out there waiting for you. Yeah, you... What do you do, Sly? What do you do?
I go and join in the revelry of drinking, and I go up to Eren and sit him drunkenly on my shoulders as I take a bottle of wine and start drinking it.
Fantastic. You drink your wine. You all prepare yourselves. And we're going to go one last time to Squally. Squally, you meet up with Jenna and Giorgio.
Gina?
Yeah, Gina. Yeah, Gina and Giorgio. You meet with them. They are they're wielding two heavy crossbows. They have a group of 6 Barovians with them. All of them have like hunting tools and like wolf traps, bear traps, and also like snares, bows with them. And they're just kind of like coordinating, trying to figure something out. One of them is holding a device that is like ripped in half. Like one of the bear traps is ripped in half. No blood in it.
Oh. Hi. Hello.
Gina looks at you. Hello?
Are you Gina?
Yes.
My name is Squally. I am a friend of Fishmark's, and I am here to help you on your search party.
Good. Do you have a crossbow?
I do. I pull out my little hand.
Good. We don't want to get close to these things. So, Gina begins to speak and says, well, for some reason, everything that we've been trying to do to these wolves that has been coming through, some of them are dying, but the other ones just seem to be running off and without any issue. One of the Barovians, who's like dark purple in its face, just says, I seen it rip open one of the traps as it ripped open my lad. It ripped my lad open. His blood was sprayed across the trees. It seems right now that we're having an issue with quite a bit of this wolf problem.
Yeah, it's pretty bad out there. We fought 17 of them once.
17 wolves? Giorgio says, that's a lie. You have not fought 17 wolves.
No, how do you think I got this cool vest and these cool shoes?
They look at your outfit right now and they're just staring. They're like, these are very, very interesting garments. They look to be the fur tone of the wolves that come through here. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Ooh. It will be a 15.
15. Okay. They stare at you and say, you must be a very wise person to have killed 17 wolves. Tell us.
Oh. I didn't do it myself. I said we. It wasn't just me.
I see. Where does the rest of this we? Gina says, obviously, the other we, they have probably have all passed away because they couldn't handle the. Well, you don't see them wearing the garments right now, so they probably couldn't handle these other wolves in this whole process.
No, they're fine, actually.
Boss, we are looking at the one survivor of the 17 wolves.
Oh, no, I didn't do it myself. They're still quite alive. They're still quite well. They're just
Grab onto you and just say, listen, it is a tragedy what has happened to you. Well, the purple-faced person walks up to you. I know what it's like to lose someone and to have their brains scattered as their skull is split open by a wolf.
Oh no.
I am so sorry.
I'm telling you, it's fine. Everything's absolutely fine.
You are so brave. Look at how they handle loss with such ease. Nina says, I must say, we recognize you from before when you came into the riot that had built up, and I must say, you are brave to come back here and to present yourself even after your entire party has been lost.
I kind of like think for a second. I'm like, maybe it's a good thing that they think Wystera is dead. And I'm sitting there and I'll just be like, oh, yes, it's quite the tragedy. What are you honestly, I feel terrible about what had happened earlier, and I'd like to help. I'd like to do my part for you. What is the plan or strategy that we're going for here?
Well, right now we're just trying to hunt down these wolves to see exactly where they are and maybe find out exactly what can actually harm them. We've been trying right now to lay traps, but they break through those. We send off, like, we've been able to acquire, thankfully, some decent artillery, these heavy crossbows. We traded so much from the Vistani that we were traveling through here just to be able to get these. Also, Bildrath had given us a few of things as well, but in his old age, I think he's become quite senile.
I look around to make sure he's not close to me for a second there. Like,
Bildrath is like right now, like far off in the distance. Like he is like currently haggling right now with a horse.
with Bildrath?
Bildrath Bildrath is haggling with Bildrath the pony over apples to try. And it seems like he is trying to like just he's it seems that Bildrath has like gotten some of that old some of his brain's not good.
Anyways, knowing that he's not looking for me or noticing I'm there, I'm fine. And I will just well, a lot of these wolves, I don't even know how we defeated them. Like, did we just use spells and teamwork and the power of friendship? But anyways,
Do you tell them that? Do you tell them?
no, no. This is Squally's internal dialogue. I don't remember how we defeated them.
Got it.
More just like, yeah, I guess we just fought them and did our thing with spells and everything. So, do you have any spellcasters or anything else?
They look at each other. They're holding traps and crossbows. They're like, the only person that was really in tune with any kind of like arcane was Father Donovich, and he died a while ago.
Yes, I recall. Have you been noticing strange behaviors with the wolves? Like they're not fighting
They're not
you?
dying when we shoot them.
Anything about watching you instead of trying to kill you?
Well, a couple of them drove off with some of the villagers, which was strange.
They just
Well,
them
one of them, the purple one says, one of them stood up and tore my lad apart. I saw his eyes fall out of his eye socket. It popped. I heard the pop coming across. It was the most horrific thing I'd ever seen. It reminded me when I ate a frog. It popped like a frog.
I'm so sorry for your loss. Here's the deal. Depending on where you are going to find the wolves, they are everywhere, but they are where I just came from. I don't know if you've noticed them in any other places, but I do know someone who might be able to help us fight them if you're looking to just kill them. Otherwise, I think it's safest not to hunt them down and avoid them.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check, not with advantage.
Oh, God.
18.
18. They look at you and go, well, why would that be smarter? And Gina and Giorgio kind of look at each other and say, what would be the smartest tactic? What would be the best call for this? What should we do?
I just feel it better to stay together if they do attack in a fortified place. Is there anything we can do to strengthen these walls and keep them away.
Well, we could set traps in some of the alleys in the homes. Maybe making sure that if anything tries to sneak around, they get caught, or alert people.
And a curfew would be a good idea as well. These wolves tend to come out more at night.
Well, that's the burgomaster. We should talk to the burgomaster about a curfew.
Isn't Ishnik the burgomaster right now?
Yeah, but he's not with you. Ismark is the burgomaster.
I know. And I can do so. There are so many wolves, I will tell you this right now, that trying to kill them, they will eat all of us if we try. I feel if we stay put, fortify these walls, set traps everywhere else, get a curfew, we might have more of a chance. And preparing others for fighting the wolves.
Okay. All right. We'll do that. And they're going to get together. They're going to get traps set up. They're going to start working at that. And then you can go to Ismark.
I will go to Ishmark.
All right. You pass by Bildrath, who's talking to Bildrath the pony. Like, listen, you could get yourself with a green apple. Or what do you like, the red apple? And it looks like he's kind of like gesturing. He's like, okay, come with me, little horse. And he starts trying to like bring Bildrath over, the horse over.
I just walk by.
You got it. Great. You go to the mansion. Ismark is there waiting. He's like, oh, did you forget something? What's that was rather quick.
No, I was just talking with them, and I at one point we fought 17 wolves, and at another point we fought 9. Your people will die if they keep hunting and looking for these wolves, and that was their only objective, was to find them, and they're everywhere. I feel strongly that we should fortify the town and set a curfew, make sure people stay inside or are aware of the dangers of the wolves, and we prepare them in a better way here instead of trying to go gallivanting in the very dangerous woods.
All right. So setting ourselves to have a curfew so everyone can be inside and making sure that we can lay out alarm systems and traps for in the streets.
Certainly.
All right.
Fighting them together is the best way to do it. That's how my party and I survived
All right.
17 wolves.
Yes, you said that. So, all right, so we can set up then and then have archers kind of positioned within the actual homes and buildings.
Brilliant.
Are you going to be staying with us for tonight to hold up?
Is it like pretty close to sunset? Is it like evening, or is everything dark? I mean, I know everything's dark.
Usually dark, yeah.
I know
So
everything's usually dark, but is it night?
it's definitely night, and it's going to be getting into like pitch black evening soon. Like within a few hours at least.
I feel as though the person I was going to see can wait until morning. He'll understand I couldn't travel at night, and I don't think I should do it alone. So yes, I would like to stay the night if you have somewhere for me.
Of course. All right, Squally. So you can choose where you want to stay basically to help protect this place. There's the southern area if you want to stay by the mansion. There's kind of Bildrath's shop, which is in the center of the town. There is the chapel itself. You could stay in there, which is farther north. It's kind of like isolated by the cemetery, so it's kind of its own spot. No one else is there. You can even go stand in some of the building. You can go by Mad Mary's house. You could even stay by or near the death house if you wanted to.
These this real estate's amazing.
Oh yeah, Barovia's got the best places to stay.
The mansion is like Ishmark's estate.
Yeah, farthest down south.
Okay, then I'll stay close to there. Just
Right.
also, I do feel as though I should kind of keep an eye on Irina as well, or at least on the house. So if I can be close enough that I can kind of snoop things out, I'll of course help like the townspeople warn everyone too, and then I'll I'll sleep there.
You got it. Then that is what you will do. You'll stay down Ismark's mansion by the estate to help protect and fend off any wolves that come up into the night. And that's going to be what you are going to focus on. We will see exactly what happens with Squally upon your journey there and your defense. And we will see the rest of you as you have concluded your feast and will be making your way to Castle Ravenloft for our next session. Well done, guys.
Well done,
Cool.
Liam.
Wow. Thank you all very much. To everybody who's watching the session, thank you all so very much. Once again, hope to see you guys coming out to the Edmonton Fringe Festival. Yeah, if you like this, feel free to check it out, share with your friends, and we'll see you all in the Valley of Barovia next time, everybody. Bye-bye. Wait, ominous ending.
Yes.
Ooh. Now it's over.